It's been nearly 2 decades since the world lost the crocodile hunter, yet his children refuse to let his legacy fade. In 2025, Bindi and Robert Irwin have not only carried on Steve Irwin's mission, but expanded it in ways even he might never have imagined. From global conservation projects to their growing roles as public figures, the Irwin kids are proof that his spirit is still alive. But behind the smiles and TV cameras, their journey has been filled with both triumph and heartbreak. Bindi Irwin. On July 24, 1998, the world of wildlife conservation celebrated the arrival of a very special little girl, Bindi Sue Irwin, the first child of beloved crocodile hunter Steve Irwin and his devoted wife, Terry. From the moment she entered the world, Bindi became the center of her father's universe. Steve, known for his larger-than-life personality and uncontainable enthusiasm for wildlife, found himself equally captivated by his tiny daughter. In a 2003 interview with Australian Story, he confessed, "I can't dwell on her for too long or I'll start bawling my eyes out." His emotions were raw and genuine, a testament to the intensity with which he approached every aspect of his life, including fatherhood. Steve's love for Bindi was not just verbal, it was deeply demonstrative. Even while filming in remote locations, he carried photographs of her, and at times, simply looking at the images would bring him to tears. This deep emotional connection highlighted a softer, more intimate side of the wildlife superstar, a side fans rarely glimpsed amid his high-octane adventures with crocodiles, snakes, and other exotic animals. For Steve, Bindi was not only a source of immense pride, but also an inspiration, a living extension of the passion and dedication he poured into his work with Terry by his side. Steve's approach to parenting was unorthodox, yet heartfelt. He often shared glimpses into his philosophy, which revolved around empathy, respect, and encouragement. In interviews, he humorously illustrated his belief in treating Bindi the way he would want to be treated himself. "If she wants to have chocolate, Mum's not looking. Here, have the whole block," he joked, revealing a playful, hands-on approach to raising a child. Yet beyond the humor lay a serious philosophy. Steve wanted Bindi to understand responsibility, to appreciate the value of things, and to approach life with courage and curiosity, the same traits he exhibited in his own extraordinary adventures. Steve's parenting style extended far beyond humor and affection. He encouraged Bindi to engage with the natural world in ways that were bold and fearless. "If I'm going jumping on crocs, then, by crikey, I want her jumping on crocs with me," he once said, a comment that captured both his irrepressible energy and his desire to instill confidence and bravery in his daughter. From an early age, Bindi was immersed in a world where respect for wildlife was coupled with fearless exploration, a combination that would profoundly shape her personality and life choices. Terry Irwin, equally devoted, played a crucial role in supporting both Steve's professional life and their growing family. While Steve's wild escapades often dominated headlines, Terry provided stability, guidance, and unwavering support, ensuring that their children grew up grounded in love and compassion. Her influence, combined with Steve's adventurous spirit, created an environment in which Bindi and later her younger brother Robert could thrive. Together, the Irwins exemplified a model of parenting that balanced affection, discipline, education, and a deep-rooted passion for the natural world. The effect of this environment on Bindi was evident from a young age. By the time she was appearing on television, it was clear that she had absorbed her father's enthusiasm and reverence for wildlife. In a 2007 appearance on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, Bindi reflected on the profound impact her father had on her life. "I just love animals. My dad really brought it out in me." Her words echoed the deep bond she shared with Steve, a bond built not only on love, but also on shared experiences, adventures, and the mentorship that comes from a parent who lives fully and fearlessly in their passion. Steve and Terry's parenting went beyond typical household lessons. From teaching responsibility and kindness to fostering a sense of adventure and resilience, they nurtured a child who would grow up not just as a celebrity's daughter, but as a confident, compassionate, and capable individual. Bindi's early life was punctuated by moments that blended the ordinary with the extraordinary. Learning about the world while simultaneously brushing up against crocodiles, snakes, and exotic wildlife under her father's watchful eye. These experiences forged a foundation of knowledge, confidence, and courage that would guide her throughout her life. As Bindi grew, she naturally gravitated toward following in her father's footsteps. Her participation in wildlife conservation projects, television appearances, and public advocacy work was a testament to the values instilled by Steve and Terry from her earliest days. The lessons of respect for nature, bravery, and the importance of education became central themes in her upbringing. Steve, despite his untimely passing in 2006, left a lasting imprint on Bindi, shaping not only her career, but also her identity as a young woman committed to continuing his legacy. In 2008, at just 10 years old, Bindi brought her passion to television with the premiere of her docuseries, Bindi the Jungle Girl on Discovery. The show ran for 3 seasons, allowing viewers to see the world of wildlife through the eyes of a young conservationist, and it served as a continuation of Steve Irwin's mission to educate and inspire people about the natural world. Through her own vibrant personality and fearless curiosity, Bindi was not merely a mini version of her father. She was stepping into her own role as a young ambassador for wildlife. Her commitment to family and wildlife intertwined seamlessly over the years. Bindi starred alongside her mother Terry and younger brother Robert in the family-centered reality series, Crikey. It's the Irwins, which showcased the day-to-day operations at Australia Zoo while highlighting the family's devotion to preserving her father's legacy. Fans of the show quickly recognized that, though she had lost her father at a tender age, Bindi had inherited his courage, energy, and relentless spirit for conservation. Her television work was more than just entertainment. It was a platform to educate, inspire, and continue the mission that Steve Irwin had dedicated his life to. Bindi's personal journey, however, has been marked by profound loss and resilience. Losing Steve when she was only 8 years old left an indelible mark. She has been candid about the emotional aftermath of losing a parent at such a formative age. "It's scary when you lose the strongest person in your life," she shared on the A Life of Greatness podcast in February 2025. "After losing Dad, I was so worried about losing Mom and Robert. I would get so worried if they left a room." The loss created a deep sense of separation anxiety that lingered into her adolescence and early adulthood. Yet despite the overwhelming grief, Bindi found solace and stability in her mother Terry. She reflected on Terry's unwavering support, saying, "I don't know how she did that when Dad passed away, because the whole world shifted and landed on her shoulders, and yet, through it all, she was there for me and Robert, and still is, emotionally, and to help us navigate." Terry's resilience and dedication ensured that the family remained a strong unit, and Bindi's later achievements are as much a testament to Terry's guidance as they are to her own determination. Adulthood brought new joys and milestones for Bindi. In March 2020, she married Chandler Powell, a professional wakeboarder, in a heartfelt ceremony at Australia Zoo. Their union was a celebration of love and shared values, especially their mutual commitment to wildlife conservation. Exactly 1 year later, the couple welcomed their first child, a daughter named Grace Warrior Irwin Powell. The name carried deep personal significance. Bindi explained that her daughter's middle names, Warrior Irwin, were a tribute to my dad and his legacy as the most incredible wildlife warrior, ensuring that Steve's spirit would live on through the next generation. For Bindi, Grace's arrival was especially poignant. She had undergone surgery for endometriosis and described her daughter as a tiny little miracle in an August 2023 People cover story, highlighting the couple's gratitude and joy at finally holding their daughter in their arms. Parenthood offered Bindi a new lens through which to view her own childhood and her father's influence. She often reflects on how Steve would have been the perfect grandfather to Grace, even if only through stories and documentaries. She noted that Grace has begun to get to know her grandpa through all of the documentaries, ensuring that Steve's legacy continues to resonate within the family in meaningful ways. The intergenerational bond is also marked by Bindi's decision to commemorate both her father and her daughter with a tattoo in January 2022. On Instagram, she shared the sentiment behind the design. "The words I spoke to our daughter as I held her for the first time in my arms were, 'My graceful warrior.' That's how her name was born. This is my dad's handwriting to keep him with me, always." The tattoo is a tangible reminder of the unbroken thread of love, courage, and inspiration that links Steve, Bindi, and Grace. Bindi's achievements extend beyond her personal milestones. In 2015, she showcased her versatility by participating in Dancing with the Stars, and went on to win season 21 alongside her professional partner Derek Houff. Her success on the show revealed another facet of her personality: discipline, grace, and a willingness to step outside her comfort zone, qualities she had cultivated from an early age through her father's adventurous approach to life. Even as she navigated public life, Bindi remained grounded in the lessons imparted by her parents, emphasizing empathy, courage, and a commitment to meaningful work. Throughout her career, Bindi has been remarkably open about her experiences, both joyful and challenging. She has shared candid insights about the emotional impact of losing her father, the pressures of continuing his work, and the adjustments of becoming a mother while managing public life. Her reflections illustrate a blend of vulnerability and strength, revealing how she channels love, grief, and determination into action. The consistency of her values, respect for nature, family devotion, and courageous engagement with life, underscores the continuity of Steve Irwin's legacy, carried forward by a daughter determined to honor and expand upon the foundations he laid. Robert Irwin, 21. From the moment he arrived, Robert became the latest inspiration for his father, who often reflected on the profound sense of purpose parenthood brought him. In a touching moment captured in a BBC Radio 2 throwback video shared on the Scott Mills Breakfast Show in June 2025, Steve spoke candidly about the exhilaration and responsibility he felt welcoming his second child. "When Bindi was born, and now with Bob, same sensation. This is why I was put here," he said, his voice infused with both pride and unfiltered joy. Even in the face of life's uncertainties, Steve's commitment to his children and his work was unwavering. "I could be dead tomorrow, so this little bloke's going to have to catch the crocs with Bindi," he added, humorously acknowledging the adventurous life he envisioned for his children while underscoring the seriousness with which he approached his role as a father. From the earliest days of his life, Robert was immersed in the vibrant, sometimes chaotic, yet profoundly loving world of the Australia Zoo. The family's ethos of exploration and adventure was as much a part of Robert's upbringing as the daily routines of school and play. He often recalls mornings that were equal parts thrilling and ordinary, moments that would leave indelible impressions on his young mind. In a February 2025 interview on the Australian talk show The Project, Robert reflected on these formative experiences. "Every morning, he'd load up Bindi and I on the front of his motorbike and we'd go rip around the zoo and get ice cream. So I just remember being on the front of the motorbike covered in ice cream, just loving life." The imagery is vivid. Two children, their hair windblown, sticky from ice cream, clinging to their father as he navigated the vast expanses of the zoo grounds, their laughter mingling with the calls of exotic birds and the rustle of foliage. It was a childhood infused with adventure, love, and the kind of intimacy that only a family so intertwined with both each other and their work could experience. The motorbike itself became more than just a vehicle. It was a symbol of family, freedom, and the shared adventures that defined Robert's early years. Even decades later, he retains the same motorbike, a physical artifact imbued with memories of a father whose presence, though tragically cut short, continues to shape him. On Instagram in February 2024, Robert wrote with heartfelt nostalgia, "Every time I start that thing, it brings back so many memories, and I absolutely love it. Every time I get on that bike and ride the same route around Australia Zoo that he did, it means so much that this piece of machinery that he loved and used every day keeps on running." The motorbike, ordinary to an outsider, carries extraordinary significance. It is a conduit for memory, a tactile link to a father whose lessons, laughter, and love continue to resonate across time. Steve's untimely passing in 2006 left an indelible mark on Robert's life, yet it also reinforced the lessons and values his father had instilled during those early years. Even as a child, Robert internalized Steve's passion for wildlife, his fearless approach to adventure, and his boundless enthusiasm for life. The rituals of morning rides, the shared joy of simple treats, and the immersive experiences at the zoo became the foundation of a resilience and confidence that Robert would carry into adulthood. Through these early adventures, he developed a natural rapport with animals, an understanding of conservation, and a fearless curiosity, all hallmarks of the Irwin family legacy. Beyond the adventures, Robert's relationship with his father was characterized by warmth, mentorship, and subtle life lessons embedded within daily experiences. Steve's approach to parenting was dynamic, blending humor with instruction and freedom with guidance. The motorbike excursions were more than recreational. They were exercises in trust, observation, and responsibility. Being perched on the front of that bike required Robert to be aware, alert, and connected, while simultaneously allowing the joy of motion and spontaneity to dominate the experience. In essence, Steve wove lessons of courage and engagement into the fabric of family life, ensuring that Robert, and Bindi before him, would carry these principles forward into their own lives. Even in adulthood, Robert has demonstrated a remarkable ability to reflect on his childhood with clarity and gratitude. His Instagram reflections and interviews convey a deep appreciation for the small moments that shaped his identity. The motorbike, ice-cream-stained mornings, and exploratory trips around the zoo are not just nostalgia. They are touchstones of an upbringing steeped in adventure, mentorship, and love. These early experiences fostered both confidence and empathy, instilling in Robert an understanding of responsibility toward wildlife and the importance of carrying forward his father's mission. Today, Robert has grown into a full-fledged wildlife conservationist, working alongside his mother, Terry, his sister, Bindi, and her husband, Chandler Powell, at the family's iconic Australia Zoo. He has said candidly that this work is not just a career, it is in his very DNA. "It's in my DNA, and it's what I've been born to do," he told People in April 2021. Highlighting the natural pull he feels toward preserving wildlife and continuing his father's mission. Central to Robert's dedication is the enduring influence of Steve Irwin, whose energy, courage, and passion continue to inspire his youngest son. "My dad will always be my greatest inspiration, and he is first and foremost the reason why I care and the reason why I do what I do, to continue that legacy that he started," Robert explained. This sense of purpose is evident in his every action, whether he is caring for animals behind the scenes, educating visitors, or appearing in front of the camera. From a young age, Robert understood that conservation is not merely a job, it is a responsibility, a calling, and a way to honor the man who shaped his childhood and instilled in him a fearless curiosity about the natural world. Like his father, Robert is unafraid of taking risks, embracing life with the same bold, adventurous spirit that made Steve Irwin a global icon. In April 2025, Robert captured public attention with an internet-breaking advertisement for Bonds underwear, showcasing not only his charisma but also his willingness to challenge expectations and step into uncharted territory. His adventurous nature is not confined to promotional work. In 2025, he joined season 34 of Dancing with the Stars, pairing with professional dancer Whitney Carson and demonstrating his ability to tackle new challenges with determination, humor, and skill. Whether in front of the camera or interacting with the world's most dangerous animals, Robert has embraced a philosophy of living fully, guided by curiosity, courage, and a relentless drive to explore. Robert's love for adventure is not limited to professional endeavors. He embodies the Irwin family mantra of embracing life without hesitation. "No desk job for me," he told People in September 2025, capturing the essence of his lifestyle. "I'd rather play with crocodiles all day, or be surfing, skydiving, skateboarding, mountain biking, rock climbing. I think it's the Irwin genetics. I was just born to be wild." These words echo the exuberance and fearlessness that defined Steve Irwin and illustrate how Robert has internalized and expanded upon the adventurous DNA passed down from his father. Beyond his thrilling exploits and public persona, Robert maintains a deeply personal connection to his father's memory. He frequently honors Steve through social media tributes, often sharing moments of reflection alongside photographs and videos that highlight both the lessons his father imparted and the love that continues to guide him. Robert also finds inspiration in watching his father's films, revisiting the extraordinary life Steve led and drawing motivation to continue his work with passion and purpose. These practices are not mere nostalgia. They are active reminders of the values that underpin Robert's identity: courage, curiosity, empathy, and the unshakable commitment to conservation. One particularly poignant experience came in November 2024, when Robert visited Steve's wax figure at Madame Tussauds in Sydney. Seeing his father represented in 3 dimensions, rather than as a photograph or film, offered a rare and tangible connection. "That is amazing," Robert said. "It's the first time in a long time that he's not just a picture." The wax figure became more than a static tribute. It served as a touchstone for memory, an embodiment of Steve's larger-than-life personality, and a reminder of the values Robert strives to emulate every day. Through such experiences, Robert finds ways to keep his father's presence alive in his life, bridging the gap between past and present while shaping his own path in the world. Robert's work at Australia Zoo exemplifies his commitment to conservation, education, and the continuation of his father's legacy. Whether interacting with wildlife, mentoring young visitors, or appearing in front of cameras, Robert approaches every task with enthusiasm, professionalism, and the signature Irwin passion that has captivated audiences worldwide. His efforts serve not only to preserve and protect the natural world, but also to inspire a new generation of conservationists, echoing the impact Steve Irwin had on millions of people around the globe. Equally important to Robert's journey is his willingness to embrace personal growth and challenge. His ventures into dancing, adventurous sports, and public engagements demonstrate that he is more than a reflection of his father. He is his own person, carving out a life that honors the past while embracing the present and looking toward the future. At the core of his endeavors, however, remains the enduring influence of Steve Irwin, the man who taught him to face the world with courage, curiosity, and joy. What do you think about Steve Irwin's 2 children? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.